Hello everybody, it's Wood here. So, I've actually been, over the course of doing these videos, I have been inundated with people that have been citing the Super Smash Bros. Wiki to me, saying you forgot this, or what about this, and well, I just wanted to make this video to show you that it's really not a reputable source, and you should never cite it when talking about the ultimate, at least when the game hasn't come out yet. Super Smash Bros. Wiki is great for games that have already been out. When you have this like horrible typhoon of speculation and hype surrounding this game, and everybody analyzing what they can about it, things get really ugly. And when you have a site that can be edited by anybody, a lot of misinformation sneaks through. And I just wanted to show you this. I thought it would be kind of interesting to go through the characters that we've already done and just look at all of the misinformation that's just up there and ready for people to see and think is true. You know, you say, oh, it's moderated and everything. I have taken whole mornings out of my day just removing all the stuff that is factually incorrect. You know, we'll start with Bowser because it's more about the changes than it is about, you know, the newcomers, so we won't start with Ridley, but we'll start with Bowser. And for reference, I have the actually good spread up. This is edited by me and other frame data analysts like Ruben, Kuragane, etc. And you have to have access in order to edit it. So this has data for every character except that's in the demo, except for Inkling, I guess because it's just too difficult to get good data on them because of their ink mechanic. I even did a page for K-Rule here. As you can see, it's pretty barren. But it really only focuses on, you know, frame data and damage. There's no real, like, little things have this, or this armor stands at this frame, or whatever. It's mostly just frame data and everything. I'll put a link to it in the description. A lot of the time, it's not completely perfect. Every thing in it is pretty well accurate. I'd say about 98% accurate, but it doesn't have everything in it. When I do these analysis videos, I will find things that they didn't find. I'll add it in later. I'm actually probably the only person that still edits it these days. No, that's not true. It's much better than SSBWiki. Please do not use SSBWiki. So we start with Bowser here. And I've actually, for a lot of these, I've actually changed them myself. And a lot of them actually get changed after I release a video on them. So I guess people trust me more than Wiki, which is good. Just for the record, I don't just go on this. I analyze every... in fact, I have my notes for the upcoming analysis. I won't... I mean, you guys know who it's going to be, but this is just one page. Usually, with timestamping, an analysis takes anywhere from 4 to 6 pages of notes. Just straight up notes. You can see I have all the little names and stuff there. And I do that for every single move. And I really only use this spreadsheet as like a double checker. Like if I'm off by one frame and I look at it and it's this frame, I'm like, alright, it's probably that. But of course I double and triple check everything. So a lot of the times I'll actually make changes to it. Anyway, we're here in Bowser, and let's just go through the characters that I've done and see just how much of SSBWiki is actually incorrect. Bowser jumps lower. I don't know if that's true or not. We don't know what they're holding. Stuff like jumping lower and like... Whenever I do a movement comparison, I always just do running because it's pretty easy to say that they're running as fast as they can. I will never do airspeed comparisons. Way too hard to get that lined up, and we don't know how hard they're holding on the stick. So it's pretty much impossible to dictate just how much faster. And besides, when they do buff someone's speed, it's usually only by like 1 or 2%. It's never by something so crazy that you can just notice it from a VOD. Stuff like running speed is really easy to overlay and just count frames on, so that's the only thing I've done. And so far, I haven't seen any difference in characters' run speeds at all from the ones I've analyzed. Down tilt is much faster, allowing both hits to land more reliably, and the first strike and hit. I mean, yeah, the two hits are closer together, but as far as it being much faster, it's only a frame faster, which I actually got wrong on my video. It's actually frame 9. Pretty crazy. Bowser's up smash sour spot does slightly more damage. Yes, however, something I also missed on my first one, his sweet spot also does more damage because nobody had hit a sweet spot up smash by the time I did my video. New down smash, similar to Wolf's, I guess. Improves the range and deals much more knockback. I don't like commenting on knockback because we don't know DI, we don't know if weights were changed, and we don't know how rage is affected in this game. We know it starts about as low as 60%. This whole it starts at 120 thing is wrong. We have seen Sheik's Fair, for instance, send it a tumble at the same percent, and also not send it a tumble, and do the same damage, which means that the only thing that can be changing is the straight up knockback, and that starts as low as like 60%. So far, it looks like rage, as far as where it starts, is pretty much unchanged. The way I see it, my philosophy with these is, if it seems like it's unchanged, it probably is, because not that much was changed between Smash 4 and Ultimate when you get down to the brass tacks, the hard data. So, animation is much faster. I don't know what that means. As far as FAF, it's like the same. They don't actually have the FAF here, but it's like pretty much the same, if not a little bit laggier. So I don't know what the animation is much faster thing is about. Down smash has fewer active frames and slightly increased startup. It actually doesn't have increased startup. That was probably my fault. It actually doesn't have fewer startup frames. It's frame 10, just like it always has been. Which I thought it was frame 12 because that's when it hit in the video, but I think that was because of some hit lag shenanigans. Neutral aerial hits connect less reliably. How do you know? What does a less reliably mean? People will hold on to these sort of statements, and it's just so. Ooh, that's okay. It's just so like tenuous that I don't want to say if I don't know something is correct in a video, I just won't put it at all. Even if it might be true, I don't want to put it as fact because a lot of people rely on my videos for facts, and I would rather just not put it in the video than be like, well, this maybe is different. Forward aerial comes out quicker. That is incorrect. Forward aerial is basically unchanged as far as the startup. Frame 13 like it's always been. So that right there is incorrect. I don't know where they got that. Maybe it just looks quicker. I had to like go through, like for instance, I went through Kirby's, and oh my god, just the level of, you know what, let's check it out. Let's go to the different character. Let's move down the list. I guarantee if we go to Mario, we'll see up tilt has more lag. I guarantee it. Where is it? Up tilt has slightly more ending lag, hindering its combat potential. No! Mario's up tilt is this exact same as it's always been. Not see anything in F tilt? Nothing. Mario's up tilt is the same exact frame data as it's always been. When you see something that's that wrong, like you start to question whether anything can be true. So I guess we'll go to Ganon, because I covered Ganon. Grab is faster. No, actually, it's not. We go over to Ganondorf. Where is he? Here he is. Come on. Grab, standing grab. It's actually slower. It used to be frame 7, now it's frame 8. And you can see that on my video, I say it's frame 8. And of course, like all the other throws, the lag he has more lag on it now. But not that much more, like only 3 frames more, that's actually pretty good. Anyway, that's incorrect. Forward throw and up throw deal more damage. Yes, up throw does more damage, forward throw does not. We can see up throw here, got a small buff, 3 more damage. Forward throw, it does the exact same damage, and a lot of the time these people, I don't know who, but whoever edits this will look at a 1v1 match and they'll be like, oh, it used to do 12 and now it does Or it used to do 10, now it does 12 and 12.6, and they don't take into account, like, they don't take into account because decimals have never been a part, they've never been displayed in Smash 4. The small little details of the small tiny bits of damage that you get from a fresh bonus or staleness, like 10, it goes to 10.5 when it's fresh. A lot of times people will just say, well, now it does 10.5 damage, and that's not true. It does 10% base damage, 10.5 with freshness, and 12.6 with freshness in 1v1 multiplier. So these are all things, and then of course you have short hop multipliers, and shield staling, and all sorts of other things you have to take into account. Forward aerial has more forward, leaning more forward like you did in Melee, improving its reach. Smash is notoriously terrible. I am really not a fan of commenting on range, because unless an animation is completely different, or it's a completely different move, like Bowser's down smash, or the Ganon's sword attacks, I can be like, alright, he's got a sword, it's gonna have more range. But the whole, like, he leans more forward thing, you have to be careful because Smash is notoriously terrible when it comes to matching animations with hitboxes. Like, for instance, Captain Falcon's up smash is pretty bad. So we go to the first active frame. Look at this. Now this is clearly just to suck in the opponent and make sure it doesn't just miss every time. But like, okay, you would assume the hitbox would come out like as he's kicking up, but it's like, wow, it's only one frame each too. So you can see here it's pretty odd. And Ganon actually has a pretty similar thing with his up smash. He has a little dick box, as we call it. Things like this happen all the time, where the hitboxes don't actually match up. Like, look at Meta Knight's sword. It's nowhere near where the hitbox is. I mean, what is this? There's nothing there. What is this? Ah! But the whole, like, leaning forward thing, that's not... Ooh, I forgot to show. That's not really conducive to what a hitbox is going to look like in Smash 4. I mean, look at this. What is this? That's so far forward. Like, the whole time. Like, you would not think that that would reach that far. And, like, where is Palutena in here? Look at this. Would you think, looking at her... Of course, most pivot grabs do this, but, like, boom. What is this? But the point being, you can't just be like, well, this guy, he leans more forward, so that means he has a different hitbox. It's not necessarily true. It could just be the way that they did the animation, because all the animations had to be redone because of the new engine. Back air does more damage. No, it does not. Okay, so here we are. Here's the back air. This is actually kind of a little behind the scenes look of how I actually do things. So, what I do to look at damage. What is the damage he has before? 24.1, alright? So you go into here, you type in 24.1 minus. And then you go over here, what's the damage after his hit? Now, keep in mind this is short hop. Alright, 39.3. So, boom, boom. It did 15.2. Okay, 15.2 damage. Let's open up Kuragane for Smash 4 here and see what it did in Smash 4. So we have Ganondorf. His back air did anywhere from 16 to 17. Okay, so more damage. They didn't specify. They never do. But more damage would mean more than 16 or 17. So it's 15.2. There's a 1v1 multiplier, right? And it was a short hop, and it was probably fresh. So what we'll do, we will divide it by 1.2 to get rid of that. Well, maybe there isn't no short hop multiplier. Let me check. Yep, this had items on. That's another thing you have to take into account. When items are on, in these Smash Ball only things, items are on, 1v1 multiplier, not active. So just 0.85. What is that? 17.88. And what is 17.88? divided by 1.05. That is 17, my guys. Of course, it's never going to be perfect because it rounds to the nearest tenth, but we can sort of specify what we want here and sort of dig around until we get to the perfect, I think it's 2.5. There we go. So it actually did, instead of, it registered as 15.2, but it actually did 15.725. So you take away the short hop multiplier and you take away the freshness bonus and you get 17. That is exactly the maximum damage of Ganon's bear here. And as you can see, and if I'm really like, well, what if it's a sour spot? What if it's a sour spot? Then I'll check out their hitbox data from Smash 4 and see which hitbox did that damage. Boom. Or which hitbox 17? The green one. That would be the tipper, as it were. So you could make an argument, I guess, that the sweet spot has been removed. But as far as it being, I would be very hesitant to say that its damage was increased just from that, because maybe it got its sweet spots removed, but if it got its sweet spots removed, you say it got its sweet spots removed, or its sweet spot does, or its sour spot does more damage, or something like that. You don't just say back air does more damage. Grab range improved, we don't know that. Without direct data of how big the hitbox is, hard-coded, we don't know that, because we don't know what the hurtbox data is of the other characters. Dark Dev is higher knockback, that's speculation. Launches at a lower angle, it does not. It always launched at 45 degrees. When you say about angle, it has to be so obvious, because we don't know how DI works in Ultimate yet. I don't want to be the fun police, but we don't know how DI works, and we don't know how a lot of these things work, and we can't just make assertions. So as far as higher knockback, we don't know what the weights of the characters are, per se. I do know how heavy Inkling is because Kirby swallowed and did 14% to another Inkling, or 14% to, another Inkling while swallowing an Inkling, which in Smash 4 meant anywhere from 93 to 97 weight, because it's a weight-dependent attack. For the few times that I've commented on angles, it's so obvious. For instance, Kirby's new down smash that I'm going to get to went from sending it like, I think it was like 70 degrees or 69, down to like 30. That's pretty obvious. The pit one, I actually did like a DI thing, like what's the maximum window of angles that it can do, and it still was higher than that. I'm like, okay, the angle was changed, at least somewhat. Airspeed, slightly faster. Wrong. Dashes, slightly faster. Wrong. I even did that in my analysis. So, this is me proving, as much as I can, that there's no difference in speed. Just because he looks like he's running faster, because he hunches over more, doesn't mean his actual run speed's any different. I timed how long it would take to run from this pattern of Town and City over here to this cloud. And thankfully, the camera lined up just right, and you can see that there's really no difference in speed. The more is wrong, the less you can trust this stuff, you know? I wonder what's different with that. That's a fresh one. We've just done that. And forward tilt have reduced ending lag. No. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Boom, hits. Now, it's a lot easier to get FAF data when they miss, but it's still possible when they hit. You just have to deduct the hit lag frames, which is 1. So you just go 12, 12, 12 until Ike starts to move again, because when the hit lag, they both just freeze and they're like, oh, I'm hitting you, oh, I'm getting hit. Know that this starts at frame 12. Let's go back to where it first hits. Boom, frame 12, and then you have to go 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. So happy when it doesn't work. 12, 12, 12, 12, come on now. 12, 13, okay, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Alright, this is frame 30 of the move. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. This is frame 35. 36, 37, 38. We're getting really close to the FAF of Smash 4. 39, 40, 41, 42, and 43, 44. 44, he decides to start moving again. Now the FAF of Ike's F-tilt was 42, and he doesn't actually start dashing until frame 44. So of course, he probably didn't buffer an option immediately, but I doubt Zero is the kind of guy to just not buffer an option. It's better when they do shield, obviously, but either way you can tell, like, this clearly is not true. Significantly reduced ending lag. If it was significantly reduced, it would not be anywhere near 44 frames. It would be like up tilt, where it would do it went from 48 to 40. Like, that's significantly reduced. This is not true. That's true. Down aerial has reduced startup lag. I don't want to do this for every move, but it's not true. Dare has the exact same frame 14, is it? Exact same frame 16 as it always has. Up aerial, here we go, and faster startup. No, it does not have faster startup, and this can actually be easily proven, and it's pretty easy to see right here. There we go. It's actually the clip I used in the video. It's actually really easy to see that it doesn't have faster startup, unfortunately. Alright, so here's Ike jumping normally. He doesn't start his up air until 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and it hits on frame 13, right here. And if we look here, up air, active frame 13. So that's just another, it does not have faster startup. Link, going through Link, jump squat, crap. Neutral attack deals less damage. No, it does not. Neutral attack does the same damage. It got damage reworked. I'm just going to use the spreadsheet from here on out because I've shown you that it's pretty easy to prove these things wrong. Jab 1 and Jab 2 actually got their damage buffed to 3% each instead of 2.5%. And you can see this in my analysis video. And then Jab 3 got nerfed down to 4. So total damage is still 10% like it's always been. If some of these are wrong, how do you tell like what's right or what's wrong, you know? And you can tell when people argue this, they just quote verbatim, and there's a few channels out there, I'm not going to name any names, there's a few channels out there that will literally just list off SSBWiki changes verbatim, and it's I'm sorry, but it's lazy, and it's a disservice because people rely on channels like us to give the facts, to give people like, okay, has my character been buffed? Is my favorite character finally viable? Can I use them? Who do I main? Like, what do I have to look out for? These are things that they rely on us, and they want to see, they want to know the facts. And when you just look at an SSBWiki that anybody can edit, and just list it off, and without showing any proof, no footage, just some B-roll in the background, or you just keep parroting it in a post, you're doing a disservice, and you're spreading misinformation in the community that will grasp onto any bit of information they can about their character. I've been there. I main 2 characters that aren't in the demo. I scrounged those trailers. I look for anything of them, and you just gotta realize that the game's not out yet, and some things we just don't know yet, and that doesn't give us the right to fill in the gaps with what we think. Dashing speed much higher. I didn't actually show this, but it's floating around the internet. I did a movement speed comparison, similar to the ones I did for Bowser and Ganon and Ike for Zelda. She does not run any faster, so that is incorrect. It's pretty much frame to frame the exact same speed. I will say this, SSBWiki, it has been getting cleaned up, but there's still a lot of badness. And I'm going to go ahead and go into Kirby, just for a little bit. Dash is much faster. That has yet to be proven. I'm going to try my best to prove that. Okay. Up tilt has increased ending lag. Spoilers, it doesn't. It does not. It's actually the reason I wanted to make this video, is because everywhere I see this up tilt has more end lag. No, it doesn't. I found an instance where it has the exact same 21 frames of FAF as it did before. Kirby's up tilt, and I guess it's not really a spoiler because since it's unchanged, I won't put it in the video, but Kirby's up tilt has the exact same frame data as in Smash 4. Doesn't combo as well, but it has the exact same frame data. Forward smash has slightly higher ending lag. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's the same. Where's F smash? 48 frames that it's always been. I have that in my notes right here. F smash 13, same. FAF 48, same. So that's incorrect. And if we go to Kirby, I don't want to do this too much. The FAF is exactly the same. Neutral air does more damage. No, it does not. No, it does not. Do you see anything in here about Nair's damage? No, you do not, and neither did I. Nair. Early, 10%, same. Late, 4%, same. It's the same move. Different knockback, maybe, but damage? No. Inhale has reduced startup lag. No, it does not. Frame 14 like it always was. That's I'm going to go in for Kirby because I'm making a video on him, so you'll see just what was changed and what wasn't. Spoilers, it's not that much. This goes to show, like, there's no citations for these things. There's no footage. There's no proof. There's nothing. There's no timestamps for these moves. They just heard it somewhere, maybe, and just decided to put it there, or maybe they saw footage of a move being used and saw that it did 10.5 instead of 10 and didn't think of the fresh bonus. I don't know, but it's not a good source of information. So please, guys, stop citing SSBWiki, and please stop coming to me saying I forgot things because you found it on SSBWiki and quoting me SSBWiki stuff verbatim, thinking that I haven't already read the articles. I may sound salty, but I put in the effort for you guys to give you the facts. And forgive me for feeling a little bit put upon when I have people in my comments telling me you forgot something and quoting me incorrect information that I've already read. I try my best not to forget anything. So if you have a problem or something that I got incorrect in a video, which happens, I've gotten many things incorrect in videos. I didn't know about the short hop multiplier, so that did a good dent in some of my earlier videos. There was a lot less footage in the early days, so my earlier videos aren't perfect. They're pretty good. They're like 90% there, but some of the facts are incorrect, and I'll put addendums and amendments in the comments section for correct information. So please, if you have something that I got wrong and you can prove it, let me know and show me where it's wrong. I had a guy in my comment section of the Ike video say his dash attack is less laggy. I'm like, okay, it wasn't in my notes. I analyzed his dash attack, it looked the same to me. And I'm like, but if you can show me, show me. And he showed me a link to a video he had where he went down frame by frame and counted the frames, and yes, Ike's dash attack did have 2 frames of lag cut off the end. It slipped my studies, it slipped my mind, it got past my comb, my fine-tooth comb, but he did the due diligence, and I put the addendum in the comments. So please, don't use SSBWiki for your own sake and for mine. We have a duty to keep misinformation to a minimum. Thank you for listening to me rattle on and I guess rant a little bit. And I hope this video was informative to you all. Thank you.